looters flooded into Los Angeles retail stores with a boldness that stunned many. Over the course of a few days, 39 different stores were emptied in an apparent wave of coordinated smash-and-grab thefts. The scenes were chaotic, with security footage revealing crowds of individuals pouring into businesses, sweeping merchandise off shelves, and fleeing before law enforcement could respond. These weren't isolated incidents. The scale and brazenness were a clear sign that something more serious was at play than random opportunism. Before we start, hit the like and subscribe buttons for more exclusive news. This surge in looting wasn't just another headline in a city already wrestling with a surge in property crime. It became a flashpoint in a growing debate about the city's policies, particularly those surrounding illegal immigration and sanctuary protections. The mayor's controversial illegals first stance, which critics argue prioritizes the well-being of undocumented immigrants over lawful residents and public safety, has now become the center of national attention. Supporters may insist the policy is about humanitarian values, but the consequences are increasingly difficult to ignore. Businesses, large and small, suffered from this violent spree. High-end boutiques, electronics stores, convenience shops, and even community-based retailers in less affluent neighborhoods weren't spared. Videos circulating online showed looters using hammers, crowbars, and even vehicles to force their way in, snatching everything from clothes and gadgets to food and supplies. The robberies didn't just leave empty shelves behind, they left wreckage, fear, and an unsettling sense that the city's grip on law and order had eroded. The implications go well beyond the dollar value of the stolen goods. What's at stake is a foundational sense of trust in public governance and the safety that city leaders are expected to ensure. For many residents, the feeling of being protected and prioritized by their elected officials has evaporated. The looting was shocking not only for its extent but for the symbolism it carried. The streets of Los Angeles had become a free-for-all, and no one in charge seemed prepared to stop it. Los Angeles's current policies have created an environment where accountability feels optional and consequences seem elusive. For those emboldened to loot, it was a risk worth taking. For law-abiding citizens and business owners, it was a sobering reminder that order can unravel quickly when leadership appears more concerned with ideological positions than pragmatic governance. A city that once symbolized opportunity and progress now feels, to many, like a place of lawlessness and misplaced priorities. What makes the situation even more volatile is the intersection of these criminal acts with the city's immigration stance. The illegals first policy, which has been praised in some progressive circles as a compassionate approach, is increasingly seen by others as an experiment in social imbalance. By offering protections and benefits to undocumented individuals, including sanctuary from federal immigration enforcement, the city may have inadvertently created a loophole in accountability. If individuals don't fear deportation or prosecution, what's to stop them from exploiting the system? While not every looter was an undocumented immigrant, the perception that sanctuary policies may be enabling lawless behavior is gaining traction. The mayor's insistence on these policies, despite rising crime, public frustration, and now the largest coordinated looting spree in recent memory, has ignited a firestorm of criticism. Public outrage has reached a fever pitch as residents question how their safety and livelihoods have become secondary to political posturing. This isn't just about theft. It's about a city grappling with its identity. Is Los Angeles a city of inclusion and protection, or one that sacrifices security on the altar of ideology? Is it possible to balance empathy with enforcement, or has the pendulum swung too far? These are the questions now echoing through City Hall, across media outlets, and in neighborhoods traumatized by the events. For many Angelinos, the 39-store looting spree felt like a breaking point. Business owners, particularly those who are immigrants themselves and came to the U.S. to build better lives, watched their dreams dismantled in minutes. Some of these stores may never reopen. Insurance may not cover all damages, and in some cases, there is no insurance at all. Beyond financial loss, there's a lingering psychological toll, one of helplessness, betrayal, and fear. The events also underscore the growing gap between city leadership and the communities they're supposed to serve. Critics argue that policies meant to display compassion are now alienating the very citizens who expect protection. Public safety, they insist, cannot be selective. When laws are enforced unevenly or not at all, the resulting chaos punishes everyone, especially those trying to live, work, and raise families in the city. The mayor's policies, while perhaps well-intentioned, have arguably created a parallel system, one in which individuals protected from federal scrutiny can operate without fear of full legal accountability. In theory, the sanctuary model was designed to protect hardworking individuals from unjust deportation. In practice, it's now under scrutiny for shielding those who may also be engaging in criminal activity, whether directly or indirectly. What happens next is unclear, but one thing is certain: the looting has sparked a reckoning. The city cannot afford to treat this event as an anomaly. It revealed deep vulnerabilities in the city's law enforcement strategy and broader governance. It also highlighted the tensions that arise when ideological purity is prioritized over balanced policymaking. The public's reaction has not been subtle. Town halls have filled with angry residents. Social media has lit up with calls for resignations. Some local leaders have demanded a hard pivot in policies, while others double down on their approach, dismissing critics as reactionary or xenophobic. But when 39 stores are looted in a coordinated rampage, ignoring the broader implications is not just irresponsible, it's dangerous. There's also a growing divide within the business community. Some are choosing to leave the city entirely, citing untenable risks. Others are demanding more police funding, stronger surveillance, and harsher penalties for offenders. Still others, particularly those aligned with progressive movements, are calling for more community investment and economic justice as long-term solutions. The debate is fracturing alliances and revealing just how difficult it will be to unify the city after such a deeply unsettling event. The impact of this looting spree extends into every corner of civic life. Retail districts are seeing a drop in foot traffic as residents fear further violence. Tourists, a major economic driver for LA, are reconsidering their travel plans, and law enforcement agencies are under immense pressure to respond decisively while also contending with restrictions on their tactics and mandates around non-cooperation with federal immigration authorities. Lawmakers, too, are in a precarious position. To acknowledge the failure of current policies would be to admit a lapse in judgment. To ignore it, however, is to further erode public trust. Some are quietly pushing for a reassessment of the sanctuary policies, while others maintain that the policy isn't to blame, arguing instead that the problem lies in economic despair, lack of opportunity, and racial inequality. These debates, while vital, offer little comfort to a store owner staring at broken glass and empty shelves. In neighborhoods already teetering on the edge due to economic strain, this kind of chaos deepens existing wounds. Communities that feel ignored by their leaders are now also feeling exposed to criminal opportunism. The sense of being left behind is turning into a belief that their safety simply doesn't matter in the bigger political picture. That's a dangerous sentiment in any democracy, and one that can lead to broader societal breakdown if not addressed. The city's law enforcement agencies are also facing a crisis of morale. Officers who feel hamstrung by political limitations are reportedly growing disillusioned. When arrests are made but prosecutions fall through, or when suspects are released without charges, the system begins to feel futile. This has ripple effects, not only on crime response but on recruitment, retention, and the overall culture of policing. Another angle to this story is the media's role. Coverage of the looting has been both extensive and divided. Some outlets focus on the socioeconomic roots of the unrest, while others highlight the mayor's policies as the catalyst. Regardless of the editorial stance, the consistent attention has turned Los Angeles into a national symbol of what some view as the failure of progressive urban governance. Other cities are now watching closely, weighing whether they might be next if similar policies take hold. If you like this video, please give it a like and subscribe to our channel. Also, could you leave your comments below and tell us, what are your thoughts on LA looters and the mayor's policy? We want to hear from you. Thank you for watching and see you next time.